Greetings. If you like these daily crypto analysis videos, hit the like button and subscribe. I'm Crypto Snake, back again to discuss some Bitcoin analysis. Today we'll look at Bitcoin and discuss some tentative targets. So going into the one-day chart here, as I laid out in the previous video, I did believe that a potential spike up to around the 65-60 area was possible on this Kijun-sen. The Kijun-sen did come down to meet the target. This bearish engulfing candle here did tap it and bounce off. I do think we may potentially have one more swing up to the Kijun-sen, which might meet at this 65.30 resistance level, but resistance here seems to be holding pretty firm. I'm still entirely bearish on Bitcoin as a whole. As you can see here, we do actually have a potential bear flag forming here. It's a little hard to distinguish if this is an actual bear flag or not because of what caused the drop here, which was obviously the ETF being postponed. So it may affect the technical analysis here, but the bull flag actually extends anywhere between the 58.50 support line down to the 5,500 give or take area, which is the tentative target that I set out in the previous streams based on where I think it will go on the technical analysis here. The RSI has again continued to increase as the price has gone down. It's still looking bearish. I do believe we're going to test the 30 level here again, which may possibly instigate the second flagpole here of the bear flag. So what I want to get into here on the 5-minute candle is something that happened yesterday that really highlights just the pure market manipulation that goes on here in cryptocurrencies. This candle right here, which jumped from 64.70 all the way back down to 62.13. So what happened with this price here? Pure market manipulation. Tether, as many of you know, which is normally backed by the US dollar, ended up pumping $50 million into Bitcoin, probably in an attempt to cause it to resurge and increase the price to get some FOMO and push in some bullish pressure. That obviously failed. As you can see here, it rose up and then immediately spiked down even further, auto-correcting all the way down. So there's an article here on Tether basically announcing, oh, well, when Bitcoin is dead, but the folks at Tether print another $50 million. Yeah, that was basically that candle right there. Entire manipulation. And this tweet here actually does bring up a very interesting point. If the SEC is ever actually going to approve the ETF, we can't have these random pump and dumps, just absolute market manipulation attempts. And I honestly don't think that Tether would pass an audit at this point, just because the amount of money that they're pumping out randomly into the market here. So another thing I want to address here, as Bitcoin is still plunging in price here, as you can see, Ethereum. In the previous video, I was saying how it had broken historical support on the one-day chart here at 0.53274 Bitcoin value, that we broke this historical support. It has continued to plunge, and it likely will continue to plunge. Now, is this bad if you're holding Ethereum? Absolutely. I personally would get out of any position holding Ethereum right now because of the ICOs that are just dumping it. It is incredibly oversold right now on the RSI, but that technical analysis means absolutely nothing right now when it's being panic dumped left and right. This combined with Bitcoin dropping is going to give us a very, very good opportunity to buy into Ethereum. I don't have any tentative targets right now for it, but I could easily see it getting down to about 220 before hitting any major support, followed by another support level at 150. Now, if Ethereum gets that low, I am absolutely going to be scooping a lot of it up, because a return to all-time high at that point would be almost a 6 times increase. That is absolutely worth it in the long run of Ethereum, which is a solid coin, has solid backed projects, but is currently being dumped on pretty heavily right now. So before I move on to the news here, if you would like to join our free Telegram for insights on the market, including Bitcoin, and a sneak peek to my personal entries and exits, join t.me/cryptosnakepit. Links are in the description below. Also in our VIP group, we have been making some savage gains throughout this bear trend with a private VIP chat, pulling 10% profits on my ADA call and 20% on WAN. If you want information on how to get into the VIP group, the information is also in the description below. So on to the news. This news story was pretty interesting to me. It was Bitcoin price hit 7-month high against the Turkish lira. So basically, the Turkish lira is the currency in Turkey, and they're going through a bit of a depression right now. and a lot of the citizens of Turkey are actually putting their money into Bitcoin in order to hold it stable. And you might say, okay, well, Bitcoin's dropping. That seems like an awful idea. But it's actually dropping a lot less than the actual Turkish currency. So as a pure store of value, Bitcoin is actually lucrative for people in Turkey. And I find that very interesting that they've turned against their own currency of their country to go into a cryptocurrency. And that may just be the future of cryptocurrencies. One of the major bearish news today is that Bitcoin trading is illegal in Saudi Arabia. Earlier in the year, there was a lot of bullish sentiment that suggested that maybe Saudi Arabia might get into the market, and which would pump Bitcoin to astronomical levels. So this is a very, very bearish news. And I just found this quote here kind of amusing. The committee assured that virtual currency, including, for example, but not limited to, the Bitcoins, are illegal in the kingdom and no parties or individuals are licensed for such practices. Personally, I'm still pretty bullish on the Bitcoins for the end of the year. At the moment, we are in a very vicious bear trend, which I honestly, I don't see a full recovery coming until we hit at least 5,400. Again, possibly lower, 4,700. It really depends on the market conditions. However, once we hit those points, I think we'll start a very slow and gradual uptrend, reversing this entire bear pattern that we've been in, honestly, since January. So that's it for my overview of the market today, guys. Good luck out there. I hope you guys make some savage trades. If you guys want, you can join me in my free Telegram at t.me/CryptoSnakePit, where I give up-to-the-minute updates on Bitcoin and my personal exits and entries for the private VIP group. And that's pretty much it. This is CryptoSnake, signing off.